Okay. Alright. So we're gonna do some bloodthirsty leveling to start off with. Is that the one I want? Yes. Doesn't look like it's center though. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Alright, let's try that. I hadn't planned on doing any Iron Man today, but we might take the Pacifist out, the Pacifist Hunter. We'll see. I need to work on flying, so if you all are cool with that, next week we might pop on one of my regulars for a little bit and work on some world quests and stuff to try to get my renown up so that way I can get flying. But we'll see. I think I'm at like 2 or 3 renown right now because I popped on to see where I was and I was like, ooh, we've got a long way to go on that. Let me just that. I think that's about in the right spot. I never really have a good spot to put that. To put the Kofi button when I'm doing WoW, because I mean I kind of want to put it over here, but then it's like shoved in the corner. It usually lives down here over all of the menu buttons in my other streams, but then I feel like you can't really see it, so I guess that's good enough. Alright. So today we'll be working on the Death Knight, the Demon Hunter, the Mage, and the Monk. Oh, excuse me. Don't forget we have that priest at 50, but we have sat her temporarily. Because I need to use her as a live test subject for when 9.1.5 goes live, so that we can test the moss skip. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. So, Bloodthirsty Challenge, you have to grind to max level for the most part without dying. So, there are certain instances where you can do a few quests here and there, and there's some exceptions to the rule overall, like Death Knights, Demon Hunters, Goblins, Pandaren, and Worgen, like, if you're trapped in your starting zone, you're allowed to quest out of it. But once you hit a certain quest and you're out, then you have to stop questing and then go to straight grinding. If you're not stuck in your starting zone and you have freedom of movement, like all of the base classes, oh, all of the base races really, and I guess base classes, then you don't have that option. You have to kill from level 1. So like your humans, your night elves, your Draenei, everybody like that, level 1, right out the gate, you are killing. And you're allowed to do the quests to get through them all. Because that's the only way to get into Shadowlands right now. And if we didn't, if like that wasn't allowed, then you'd be stuck at like maybe level 53 before I think the stuff might gray out. I might be wrong about the level that it grays out, but it will gray out at some point in BFA, and then, you know, you can't do anything else. So the mall quests were allowed. We're hoping that mall skip works for everyone, and then it doesn't suddenly provide a bunch of quest credit. Because, you know, it would be nice to attempt to get through the mall on a Bloodthirsty without doing all of that. I mean, although that does mean that you'd be going in right at 50. I mean, you usually get like 51 from doing them all, so that's gonna be kind of an extra level added of grinding in there if you take the skip right at 50. But skip's not in yet, so skip is still marinating, yeah, over on PTR, and it seems like every day they've added more stuff to PTR. Pretty soon this is just gonna be a fucking clusterfuck of stuff coming in. Basically it's gonna feel like a friggin' expansion with all the shit that they're shoving in this next patch. Kind of surprised at how much crap they're shoving in there. I mean, it seems like an awful lot, but for a patch, but I don't know, what the fuck do I know? We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we've got some other Bloodthirsties to keep us occupied. And that's what we'll work on. Now, all of the characters that you're going to see today have been around for quite some time, except for the Mage. The Mage is only about a year old. God, it's been a year. She hit level 10, I think, either this month or it was either October or November of 2020. So she's coming up on a year old. I can't remember if it was November or October. But she's the newest Bloodthirsty that came into existence, shall we say. This one's been around for quite some time. Just they hadn't gotten much playtime because Winds of Wisdom had come in, and I was trying to focus on getting a couple specific characters to max instead of dicking around getting a level in on everybody before BFA had finished, because it became apparent that only certain ones really had a chance of hitting 120 for the length of time that it was going to take, so I had just started to focus on those and really try to push them at that point. But all of those except for one have hit 60, the new max. So the previous Demon Hunter sold my soul. Got red flagged because of Threads of Fate. Didn't know that we were gonna get all that quest credit from accepting Threads of Fate until, you know, we found out the hard way, and a couple of us got flagged in the process. So the code team has not had the chance to try to go back in and deal with that for Bloodthirsty, so that's what prompted the Threads of Fate allowance to be taken away from them until it could be dealt with. So sorry, Bloods, you have to go to Bastion. You can't take the quick threads option and go anywhere. You have to plunk your butt down in Bastion and tough it out. And it is doable. I've done it, what, 5 times now through Bastion. It can be done. It gets a little taxing after a while because, you know, there's at least 1, possibly 2 levels where you're grinding green mobs, and we all know how painful that can be for a Bloodthirsty, watching the XP click up from the green mobs when you know what you could potentially be getting from other mobs. But we can't kill everything out there either. Some stuff just takes too long to kill, or it's too dangerous to even attempt on a Bloodthirsty. Because I'll tell you, that stuff is pretty brutal out there. We don't want to get too close to King Katal back there. That would be problematic. So we're gonna wait for him to walk past. Alright. Now that he has walked by,
I need to get closer.
I'm always nervous when he walks by, because you never know if somebody's gonna be in trouble trying to take him on and just runs for the next person they see. So I try to be back as far as I can so I don't look like a route to help them out of trouble. I don't normally mind helping people, however, when I'm on a challenger, I really can't risk it. So if somebody is really desperate in the zone chat and, you know, they're like, I really need help, I will try to go get a different character and help them if I'm in a position to do so. But a couple of times I've done that in the past and then come back to help them, and we're either not in the same shard anymore, or they've left the zone and got pulled into a dungeon, or they got the help and they're just not answering chat anymore. I don't know. It's weird. So I'm like, you were just here. It's especially annoying when they're part of my server group and I know that we would be linked together no matter how many times I left and came back. Gorfine's Grasp. Shadowy tendrils coil around all enemies within 15 yards of a hostile or friendly target, pulling them to... Oh. That sounds potentially dangerous. We're just gonna stick that over there. I mean, it sounds fun from a normal perspective, but especially a dungeon tank perspective, that would be kind of neat. But from a challenger standpoint, that's pretty scary. wonder what they're up to. They might be going for King Katal. All the more reason to hearth our butt out of here. Let's get our slash blade. Okay. So that's another level in the books for her. So if you do happen to tweet about your challenge characters, go ahead and stick the hashtag WoW challenges on there. It's the one tag that Lita and I keep an eye on for the challenges on Twitter. There was so many tags that people were starting to do and so many potential tags that there could be that it was getting a little silly. So, and we can't keep an eye on them all. So if you guys can just use the blanket umbrella WoW challenges tag and just, you know, let us know what challenge you're working on, or, you know, what's going on with this tweet, you know, that we can either... Oh shit, excuse me. Then we can either, you know, join in your celebrations, or, you know, join in your commiserations and all that stuff. So it's just kind of fun to see what others are doing and how it's going for them and what people are playing. So WoW challenges, Bloodthirsty, My Bloody Soul, I'm a Blood DK. Can we see a theme here? Dings level 32. That is not right. There we go. So, no, slash blade, come back. Slash blade of 2 days, 8 hours, 39 minutes, and 6 seconds. And I can guarantee you my real world time on this character is not 2 days. I can guarantee you. It's probably going to be like 2 years. Because this one has sat quite a lot off and on. This one was kind of just a pick up on a whim and play character for a good amount of time. And this is when the kill stat was not picking up everything properly. I'm not that far off, so I still should be okay in the grand scheme of things, but we will have to make sure that that number continues to pick up our kills, that it doesn't get too much further away from the other number. It should be fine now. The tracker seems to be processing kills that are giving XP correctly. Alright. At least at the moment it appears to be. So, alright, we'll leave her to hang out in the inn. Make sure she's getting her precious rested. Alright, so this one's the one that's red flagged, and I haven't deleted it yet because I wasn't sure if the code team was going to be able to get in there and fix it. And I also had supplied that as one of the characters to use as a check to attempt to fix it. So, but with the mall skip coming in, it might be, well, it's not really moot because that's only affecting the maw. And you're still not going to be able to take Threads of Fate. You'll still have to go into Bastion. We'll have to see how this is going to play out. I haven't touched it in PTR, so I will probably end up making a trial class and looking at it from that standpoint, and then double testing with the live challenger. Oh, I need to check my auctions. I forgot I put a ton of shit up on Auction House. What night did I do that? I don't remember. I was so tired, I wasn't paying attention. I guess it was... What the fuck is today? Today is Wednesday? Maybe it was Monday night? I don't know, one night the husband and I were just fucking exhausted. And I was just trying to stay up to get the dog his medication because I have to stay up till at least 3 a.m. Last night, well, this morning was rough. I wasn't able to fall asleep till after 7, so... And then I kept waking up, and I'm not sure why. I think maybe because it was getting warm in here. Is she making that noise?
Noise.
Every so often I hear like a weird, crunchy...
Yeah, mine's licking my water bottle, and I think she's getting the plastic.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure what the noise was. Have you checked the cameras?
No, I haven't.
Or the ones outside? Alright, so we've gotten a priest, a paladin, a warlock, a hunter, and a rogue now to Max's Bloodthirsties. This is the one that we're holding. So let's pop over to... I mean, Demon Hunter's got a long ways to go. But see, I've got everybody now that's below 50 for the most part are kind of grouped up on top of each other. So I mean, we've got the druid at 28, we've got the warrior at 21, we've got the shaman at 24. Like, they're all kind of sitting on top of each other, and like the only one that really has any... I mean, the Death Knight doesn't even really have any breathing room, so if I can get this one bumped up a few levels... like, I don't know who we're gonna bring in next, because I really don't want two at the same exact level. I think if we can get a couple levels on this one, then I don't know. We might be blah 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 blah. We might be bringing in the druid next, maybe. It really depends on what the levels look like by the time the mage's journey wraps up. Really is what it's going to come down to. I'll tell you what, though, my hand is pissed today. I was actually getting a bit pissy last night. For some reason. I had it wrapped earlier and it wasn't helping. It actually was starting to aggravate me more, so I had to take it off. But I was doing a bit of video editing last night, so that could have potentially not helped the situation. Alright, so this is the Demon Hunter. Now, Demon Hunters, Death Knights, allied races, they're not going to get any sort of write-up or anything when they hit max level, because they didn't start at level 1. It's always been the policy up to this point for the WoW Challenges website. Like, you'll get a congratulations, but for those specific entities, that's about as far as it's gonna go, because it was always seen as a more difficult endeavor starting out from level 1, from the ground up, so to speak, because, you know, the allied races, they don't start at level 1, and they're handed gear. Now, from an iron standpoint, it doesn't matter so much because you're not using the gear, but from a bloodthirsty standpoint, it does matter. Because you're being given bags, you're being given a little bit of starting money, you're being given green gear right out the gate. So, at least as far as allied races is concerned. And so yeah, it's like, no. That's a huge advantage. But at least from a bloodthirsty standpoint. But, you know, we'll see how things go. And Demon Hunter's not a walk in the park. You still have to get through your starting area, and I will say when I had to redo the Demon Hunter and re-roll if I wanted to get it done, instead of sitting on that other character waiting to see what was going to happen with that, this time through the starting area felt a lot tougher. There seemed to be some sort of weirdness with my spells, where even though it was saying I had learned an ability, it wasn't giving me the option to pull it from my spellbook and use it, and that severely limited what I could do spell-wise, and it actually made things a shit ton more difficult.
It is too far away.
Because I kept trying to look for the thing, and I'm like, the thing's not here. And yeah, I'm running in Vengeance, and I'd probably be better off pulling multiples here, but I've also gotten burned pulling multiples, although at that time I was also pulling like 5 instead of like 2. So,
I need to target something first.
with the lag, with the way the lag can be out here, and the way it can happen suddenly, I'm not deliberately
I need to get
pulling a large group. We've learned that lesson. So, that's not a mistake I really want to repeat. Being like 3 bars from dinging and dying to a lag spike.
I don't have a target.
Or dying when the lag spike caught up and all of the damage just hit me at once. Like, no, that's okay. To be perfectly honest, I was playing with fire that time, and I fucking knew it. So, you know, I was prepared. It didn't make it sting any less, but you know. It's like, you know when you're doing something boneheaded, and it's probably not the best idea, but you're gonna do it anyway, because, you know, why the hell not? But this one's actually been going really quick. Ow. Probably because of the level. So far it's felt a little bit quicker than the Death Knight, to be perfectly honest. I mean, that just could be because of what, the 10 level difference between the two, but you know, it's felt a little bit faster. I'm sure that won't last very long. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's about all we can do. Oh. Now, I haven't gotten a whole lot of gear upgrades happening. I really thought I was going to tag the deer. On this one yet. We've picked up a couple of things. Not a whole lot. I'm still mostly in, I think, the Illidari stuff from the Demon Hunter starting area. But I also don't remember what level I got out here at. Or 21. I feel like I got out here at like 18 or 19. And, because I had worked on her a little bit off stream, that you guys didn't see. Like, I didn't bother streaming her starting area on this one because I've done it before. At least I don't think I did. I may have and just don't remember. I know I have streamed the Demon Hunter starting area and how to get through there with a Demon Hunter blood in the past. Or at least to show you what you're in for. Because there is a section where you're weaponless, so... Because your weapons get turned blue and they get auto-equipped, you have to remove them the second that you're able to move again. Because they like for a brief moment when they're auto-equipped, I think it's through a cutscene and you don't have the ability to not auto-equip them. But as soon as you get control of your character back, you need to take that off immediately. What is this? Rank 2. Sigil of Flame deals an additional 25 fire damage over 6 seconds to all enemies. Is that this one? Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so let's get our photo. See, that was a pretty quick level here. I hate what they've done to selfie cam. It's not the same. I could probably just do a regular screenshot, but that's a whole nother set of keys that I have to figure out where they are. That's a whole nother mess of business right there. Oh, wait. We didn't vendor on the friggin' Demon Hunter, or the Death Knight. I was standing there and I'm like, it feels like I'm forgetting to do something. That's what I was doing. And see, I'm tired. I'm very tired. Alright. So we'll do that. WoW. Nope. Hashtags one word. WoW challenges. Bloodthirsty Soul Glaive. I would pop on and do the vendor for you guys, but she's on the other server, so we'll just leave that as it is. Try to make sure we get the others. So WoW challenges, Bloodthirsty Soul Glaive, Avenge Demon Hunter, Dings level 22. We're looking at a slash played of 10 hours. You know what? I lied. This one's not that old. I keep forgetting that I had redone her. So her and the Mage are the newest ones. Technically, the other one didn't die. She's just red flagged. I mean, it might as well be a death, but she's not dead. Because I was hoping they were going to fix the thing and I was going to be able to play her again. So I keep forgetting that I remade this one. And this one's not as old as the others, obviously by the slash played. What level did these guys start at again? Was it 8? It wasn't level 1. I can tell you that much. 40 minutes. 21 seconds. I feel like it was level 8. But it also feels like it was a lifetime ago that I started her, so we'll look at that in a second. 804 kills so far for her. When did you come into existence? January. Okay. So she's a little bit younger than the Mage. Oh wow, you have been sitting for a while. Because you only hit level 20 in March. So I had been steadily working on her. And then I guess I don't know what happened. Maybe I had started to feel a little more confident taking the big guys into Bastion at that point. That's probably what it was. Or no, I would have already taken one or two into Bastion at that point, because this one didn't come into existence until the other one got fucked up. Okay. So. Yeah, alright. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, this one and the Mage. I keep forgetting that this one was a remake. Like, I didn't forget, but I did. No, anyhow. Alright, so let's go through the vendor trash. My brain gets jumbled a lot, as you can tell. Alright, so, 21 silver, we're just gonna... So like 61 gold, 60 gold. That level, I mean, that seems kind of like, yeah, okay, who cares, but that's a good chunk of change for level 21 on just vendor trash, so we're okay with that. We're gonna have to be okay with that. Alright, so there's two. Let's pop on to the monk. Now, the monk is in the same location as the demon hunter because it's just easier at this point. I think I've gotten used to sitting in one spot now for a prolonged period of time with the way Bastion is, so I don't think I mind just sitting in Tiergard and the Tusk Pools for levels on end, but at the same time it also helps that we're getting a decent amount of vendor trash, like money from it. So while it still irritates me a little bit that I'm sitting in one spot, it is actually a little bit less of a hassle to deal with. And, you know, the money doesn't hurt either. Where are we at anyway? So, I mean, we've actually picked up... I didn't get any trophy antlers yet this level, but we did pick up a True Flight Fletching and a Bushy Tail. Surprised it was only one of each, but... still, not bad. I love Touch of Death. I'm just so sad that it's a 3-minute cooldown. But that's just my ass being lazy. Every character needs a Touch of Death button. Well, at least every player character, shall we say. Those NPCs already have too many Touch of Death buttons. Let's be honest. Oh, goodness. So we've got about 3 experience bars to go on this one. And I call a bar individual segments. Some people don't always understand when I'm saying that, what I'm talking about. So, I was a little nervous. We had seen some flags across the street in the ground near the edge of the road, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because they just kind of appeared out of nowhere, and we didn't see who had put them there. You know, husband and I are like, what's going on? And then a few days later, we saw a telephone pole laying in the ground, and we're like, oh, what is this? And I said to him, I said, I really hope they don't decide to do this on a stream day of mine because I'm going to be pissed. I would like to know some warning, or have some warning if they're going to cut the power to do whatever the fuck they're doing. And we didn't understand what they were doing because there wasn't that much space from the one pole to the next. Like, it wasn't that far away from each other, and we're just kind of like, why would they be putting another one in here? It absolutely did not make sense. So apparently, well, Russell was like, oh, putting those things in is not a quiet endeavor. I'm sure you'll wake up when they go to do it. And I'm like, alright. I didn't wake up when they went to do it. I was asleep, but it was good that I was asleep because then it didn't interfere with what we were doing here. But at the same time, I'm like, what? And we're standing there looking up at the pole, and they've got these orange metal, what look to be metal, probably not, but it might be, brackets extending off of the side of the pole, kind of like supporting the wires to keep them from drooping, because they were a teeny bit droopy, but not unreasonably so. And apparently my dad was either outside on the porch or my dad was being nosy and had yelled across the street at them and asked them what the hell they were doing. Or maybe they came over and said the power might be temporarily cut. I don't know. I didn't find that out. If the power was cut, I slept through it entirely. But apparently people down the road were having trouble with their electricity. And so they had to put this thing in, I guess, to help straighten out the wire. I don't know. I was still really confused about what the hell that was gonna do. And I kind of looked at Russell and I'm like, well, we're right off of this line, like right here. I don't believe we've had any trouble with our electricity. Maybe we were too close and weren't being affected. Though I will say the one lamp has been flickery. And every so often I have seen like the lights dim a little bit, but I didn't know if that was just the AC kicking on and was normal, so I kind of wrote it off. So I'll have to see if I notice the lights doing the weird dimmy thing. And maybe we were affected by it and just didn't realize it. Because I was writing it off to the furnace kicking in.
Well, you know all those flickering lights that you probably saw? Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, you know, like this lamp behind me would keep flickering every so often, and I'm like, this is an LED bulb, isn't it? Like, I don't understand. Because we've had a couple LED bulbs that seemed like they were flickering, and we're like, this shouldn't be flickering, it's an LED bulb. And we were really confused. But then I was like, well, maybe it's just, you know, a quick dim from the AC kicking on. But we'll see what happens. We'll have to try to pay attention to it and see if we notice it. It's one of those things that you don't notice until it happens, and you're like, oh, hey, what was that? But, we'll have to see. And I'm still in a crunch about trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do for the parents for Christmas. I think Russell's just gonna make them something, like cookies or some shit. Like my dad needs cookies like a hole in the head, but maybe we can do like a half batch of something that he can't get into too much trouble with. Or maybe we can just get him a summer sausage and some crackers and cheese. He would probably like that more than cookies. Although last Christmas he had so much sausage he could have stuffed a horse with it. But I don't know. And if I end up doing art gifts, I need time to do them. So depending on how much longer our P-file takes us, we might be working on those on stream. Sorry, not sorry, because I need time to work on them, and that might be part of the time that I'm working on them. But we'll see. I was actually trying to price out cookie cutters, so I was thinking about making some more ornaments for our tree. We somehow, I don't know if this tree is bigger than the live trees that we've had in the past, didn't feel that much bigger. But it feels like we're missing a shit ton of ornaments, and I did use some on the wreaths outside, but I had also bought some from the dollar store that I put on those, so I'm like really confused. I thought we had more ornaments than we did. I don't know what the hell happened, because we had put them all in one container, I thought. But I still have this polymer clay here, and the last thin pieces that I had made out of it for that one mixed media thing we did were really super light. So I was like, well, you know, if we take some holiday cookie cutters, I can just, you know, paint them and decorate them, and we can like run a piece of twine or something through them and, you know, put a hole in it before we bake it. And we could do something with that. Trying to do the use what you have mentality, or use what you have mentality. And that is a possibility. But dang, cookie cutters are expensive. Or I'm just being super cheap. It could entirely be either. I might want to take a run to the dollar store and see what they've got. I mean, individually, the cookie cutters really aren't that bad, the metal ones. I'm not sure if it would be better to get the metal or the plastic. It might be better to get the metal since we're dealing with polymer clay, because I think the stuff in the non-cured polymer clay can eventually break down plastic, I think, but I'm not sure. And it would be a shame to spend that much money on cookie cutters that would get weird or break or something after a little bit. Because in theory, the plastic cookie cutters would last longer, but in practicality, the metal ones might actually be easier to deal with. Because I can pinch them a little bit and get a better cut on them, shall we say. And that way, you know, sometimes the plastic ones have those like little stamp impressions on them, and sometimes the plastic ones are really hard to get the cookie out of the cut. Especially the bulk buy ones. I'm so mad because I had bought a tube of those at one point, and then I think I left them at the house in Jersey, or I got rid of them. Because I was like, oh, I'm never going to use these. And now I have a reason to use them, but that was eons ago, so still I'm mad about it. Because that was like 20 bucks for the cookie cutters. I had gotten them on sale, but still, it was like, damn it. It pains me so. And I'm certainly not looking to spend $20 on cookie cutters. It was like one of those sets of 101 cookie cutters, but they get you because it's not like, they get you because they put the alphabet in there, and that's 26 right there. So, I mean, it's really not that many interesting cookie cutters, shall we say. So you kind of really have to look at what you're getting. And it is going to be a little bit more expensive to buy specific themed ones. I did find some rooster ones, which I thought were pretty interesting. I was tempted to get a set of those and make her rooster and chicken ornaments for her tree. But she has a tiny tree in her room. And I forgot this one doesn't come running unless I actually taunt it. But I don't know if they'd be too big for her tree, because I didn't see any mini ones as an option. And I don't have that much fundage right now to to get the damn things, because I think they were like $6.99, and I'm like, oh, $6.99 for 3 cookie cutters. But I'm just being extra cheap right now, and I know it. But we don't have a choice in the matter, especially not knowing what's gonna happen with the dog. I think he's on week 2 of strict rest. I don't know. He still has like at least 2 more weeks to go. Possibly we might actually extend it to the full 6 weeks, because they were saying 4 to 6. It depends on how long the medication holds out. I think they said we could call back for refills though, on at least a couple of them. But we do need to take him back for reevaluation at some point, and it's gonna be money that we don't have. And I don't know where we're gonna shit that money out from, but we're gonna have to figure out something. And it might be that his situation becomes just a management situation where we can't really realistically expect it to get any better without surgery intervention, and that's not happening. The money's just not there. It's just not gonna happen. But it's not like it's a dire surgery situation. He seems to be doing okay. He's managing. He's gotten up a few times to investigate things on his own. He's still getting up to pee. Granted, it's only on his potty pad and he doesn't want to go outside, but I don't blame him if he's uncomfortable and doesn't want to walk that far. But, and there's no guarantee that the surgery would even help, to be perfectly honest. And he's 9, and I don't know what kind of, lifespan we're looking at for him. Years-wise. So, I don't, like, the older the dogs get, or the animals get, they tend to not want to do surgery because of how the anesthesia and stuff might affect them and things. So I don't know if he would even really recover well enough if we did it due to his age. And it might be worse than just managing the current situation. They said if we wanted, we could try to set up this MRI thing, but that's a 2-hour drive to Tulsa. No, excuse me, almost 3-hour drive, because we'd have to go to Oklahoma City, which is a bit past Tulsa. So that's 3 hours one way. That's a long day. Because we'd have to take both dogs with us, because Zuzu would not do well with his brother missing for that many hours. And my sanity would not do well if I stayed here with him for that amount of time. And I don't think Russell wants to be in that long of a car ride without help with Momo. And I don't really think he wants to do that long of a car ride on his own either. That's a long car ride. Especially with his anxiety and shit, so. Unless they suggested it because it would be much, much cheaper option since it would be at a teaching vet hospital. I don't know. If it was going to be a situation where they did it for free because it was at a teaching hospital, we may seriously consider it, but I don't know what the purpose of it would be. Because it's not like we're not doing the surgery. So I don't know if there would be a point to it other than for surgery purposes. I mean, they saw what they needed to see on the x-ray. And they seemed pretty satisfied with the x-ray to an extent. But I mean, you know, it's like a person with a compressed disc. a lot of it is just management at this point. WoW challenge is bloodthirsty. I don't know. We'll have to see. He's still enthusiastic about food and all of the people food ever and treats and stuff. He perked up a little bit when we started giving him the pain pill again. We hadn't been giving it to him regularly because we weren't sure he really needed it, but now we've seen a difference in his alertness with and without it. Miss Reaver Monk. So you know, it is helping to a degree, and he actually got up and came over to my desk looking to see what I had to eat because he was begging. So I'm like, oh well, this is something we haven't seen in a while. So we've seen a little bit of improvement, but you know, the vet said this is something that may just take time, and so it might become a management situation, and then that's money for vet medication. So we'll have to see what happens. Especially, like, it wouldn't be quite so bad if we could hear something back about Russell's disability application, but we've heard nothing. We've been able to check in on the website, but it hasn't changed from its one status in a few weeks now at all. So, like, there's been no progress updates of a percentage through the next step, and it's on the second step of 5 apparently. So at this rate, it's gonna take like a full fucking year, if not 2, for them to even finish the application. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Wild challenges, bloodthirsty dings. Like, is there somebody that we can call to, you know, check on this, to find out what the actual status of this is? But, we're not so sure they're going to tell us anything different than the website says. We don't know who we would even call anyway. But it's getting ridiculous. Like, either approve it or deny it already so that we can move on to the next step, instead of just hanging us out over a cliff for who the fuck knows how long. Like, I understand they might be bogged down and short-staffed. I do get that, but at the same time, it's like, you do have people's lives that, you know, need some kind of answer so that they can figure out what their next step is going to be. 15,649. Alright, so she hit 40. So it's a whole thing. Oh hey, we did end up picking up a trophy antler. Cool. I was surprised we hadn't picked one up.
So, fancy some bits and bobs?
Alright, so we're at 2 silver repair bill. I'm actually surprised that that is quite that low. Maybe it's because we were sub 40. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so let's get the gray stuff done here. So that brings us to 174. Not bad. And let's hit the green stuff. Not gonna be very much. 10 gold, so like 184. I'm not gonna bother vendoring the meat until the very end because we're just gonna keep getting more of it. And let's just let that stack at the bottom of the bag, and we'll deal with it all at the end. Alright, although I will say, who are you? You're the monk. You've got 409 meaty haunches. You are leading the meaty haunches total at the moment. What about stringy loins? You're leading stringy loins right now too, so. I mean, it was that priest for the longest time that had like over 2,000 pieces of meaty haunches. Alright, so, yeah, I mean, you can tell her outfit is slowly changing, But even though it's changing, it still kind of matches except for the staff, although the staff's not too bad. Alright, so that one hit 40. Let's pop on to the mage now. The mage wasn't too bad this level. I will say I was able to take on the level 60 mobs, which was a happy thing, shall we say. I was gonna say it was refreshing, but I don't know if that really fits. It's definitely a step up from the rogue. So at 57, the rogue still could not kill the level 60 mobs, and they had to do another level of the green mobs. So that really slowed down the rogue and drug out the level tremendously. Because, you know, it was 400 and some XP a kill at that point, compared to the level 60 moths at level 57 that you're getting 900 and some XP for. So, you know, it's almost like killing without rested when you have to kill the green mobs. Almost. At least at level 57. So, this level wasn't quite as painful as it could have been, so I'm grateful for that at least. We'll see how the rest of this goes. So I did actually pick up 20 slumber powder because I was killing, so I started out on the moths, right? Because they don't do as much damage. I haven't touched the gore mobs on this one yet because I was afraid to. Because, you know, being so much lower in level, I wasn't sure how badly the gore dot was going to rip me to shreds. Since I don't really have a heal on this character, I was like, maybe we'll leave that be. So we went for just the moths, which was a bit of a pain because there's only like 8, I think, that I can kill. That might be generous, but no. Well, maybe 8 that I can kill without a problem. They seem to respawn by the time I get back around, so that's not that bad. But, so I'm not sitting there waiting on respawns very often. I did have to wait a couple of times, but it wasn't very long. There's a helicopter going overhead. Interesting. We don't usually hear those very often. It's either the Forest Service checking on things, making sure there's no wildfires in the area. It's either Life Flight, because we do have a trauma center in Fayetteville. I mean, I guess it could be a news helicopter, but they usually don't go over our house very often. Or it could be a bunch of Black Hawks heading to one of the military bases, so we've seen them before. And that's an eerie sight when there's like 5 or 6 of them all following each other. Kind of creepy. But, yeah, so this level could have been a lot worse, so we're grateful. And, I had started out killing the moths, like I said, and then I was trying to supplement in the turtles, too, just because there weren't so many moths, and, I was kind of forced to kill some of the turtles at one point because somebody had come through and killed half the moths that I could kill, so I was like, oh, it's gonna be one of these things again. And I actually clicked on the person. They were level 60 and they did have like blue and purple gear on, so I was like, alright, so it's just, it doesn't look like a bot, it looks like a person, because the bots don't seem to care about their gear all that much. So I was like, okay, we'll just kind of roll with it then, I guess. But after a round or 2 of killing turtles, I was like, fuck this shit, and I went back to killing the moths, because the turtles you get like 700 and some XP. The moths I was still getting like 900 and something, so I was like, yeah, it's just not worth it for my time. I'm just gonna kill the moths. And I haven't had too much trouble. I haven't red screened. I did accidentally pull a horse, and while I did get a couple of good hits on it, I was afraid of what Gore was gonna do, so I went invisible. Didn't vanish. Don't have vanish on a mage. I went invis and reset the aggro on that after I made sure the pet was set to passive, because I was like, yeah, let's not get involved with that one right now. I don't feel like playing Russian roulette with that mob at the moment. Oh right, I need to put the little marker on my head. I keep forgetting about that. But this level actually felt okay. I definitely did not feel as squishy as the rogue. I think this is where they start to split. At least a little bit. Because up until this point, they both felt kind of similar, kind of sloggy, kind of on the same delicate level, but the fact that I could kill these moths where the rogue couldn't at this point, I feel like that's kind of where it splits a bit. It does help that I can cast at them and I don't have to get up in their face. So, I mean, I haven't really bothered attempting to interrupt their glitter burst. I know it can inflict a little more damage on me, but it's not like I can stealth, so, and remain that way. So I haven't really put in the effort to spell steal or counter spell the glitter bursts. It's really not been that much of a factor, at least not this level. So I mean, if that becomes a factor, if she survives into next level here, then we'll have to think about that, but in Shimmer Down you can't interrupt. I think if I stepped back it would still keep casting it anyway. And, you know, I've taken a little bit of damage, but no red screen, so I love how the sound effect is still going off even though we've killed it. That was a little bizarre. Oh, so hey, friends, if you've been in a black hole of a void for the past day, so I think this came out about, I saw the news about 5 a.m.-ish, as I was heading off to bed. I was actually gonna head off to bed sooner, and then I was wide awake. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna fall asleep at this point. So I was doing some more recording on Planet Zoo, and when I got too tired to really think coherently and quickly enough to bother recording it, I had popped on Twitter doing one last check of things and saw about the data breach. So you guys may want to change your Twitch passwords, and you may want to put on 2-factor if you haven't already. I already had 2-factor in place since I've had that in place since I went affiliate, just for an extra layer of protection. Because, you know, bank account information and all that shit involved, but just something to think about. It's part of the reason why I was delayed getting on stream. I was actually going to start sooner, and we were going to work on flying with my regular before we got into the WoW challenges stuff, but I had to deal with all of the password changing and things because my 2-factor authentication thingy was on Russell's phone, and Russell had his phone last night when he went to bed, and I had tried messaging him and he didn't answer me, so I was like, okay, he's asleep. So this is gonna have to wait until he wakes up. And we're both awake so that we can get this sorted. But I wasn't too panicked because I already had the 2-factor already in place. And honestly, I'm such a small speck in the hourglass here that I doubt anybody would even attempt to bother with me, because, you know, it helps that it's a specific bank account that I have attached to it as well, and there's not that much money in there, so nobody can really do any damage. I mean, it would still hurt for that to be missing, but it's not like I pay bills out of that account, so it is strictly that account is mine. It's not tied to anything else. And it's specifically for the internet things that I do. And trust me, there ain't much money in there. There's like under $50 in there, so it's been tough sledding lately. But I think everybody's kind of in the same boat. And I feel bad, you know, because it's like, oh, well, we're having a tough time, so I don't want to try to promote stuff, because then I think other people are having a hard time, and then I don't want, you know, people to feel obligated or want them to stretch themselves thin. But I think while I think our circumstance is unique, I don't think it's that unique. But you know, it is what it is. Just don't quit your day job to be a Twitch streamer unless you are already making bank, and even then I would not burn your bridges on your way out of wherever you're leaving, because you never know. This market is so fickle. Things can change very, very quickly. Cool, we're up to 21 on those. That's nice. And those are worth a good chunk of change, so 338 on just those is fantastic. And I mean, it's a random drop, so it's kind of like the suffused horns on the horses. I actually got one of those off of a turtle once, and it surprised me because I wasn't expecting that off of a turtle, because you usually get the imperial horns off of the turtles, not the suffused ones. Unless I misread what dropped it, which could have been possible. Everybody's prone to making a mistake. Not everybody is perfect. So get this, right? People really need to find more constructive hobbies for when they're bored. Now, I don't know what happened to this person. I don't know what is going on in their existence that they felt like this was an avenue to take. Maybe it's a competitor, I don't know. But last night I had posted, by the way, part 1 and 2 of Flamingo Falls episode 4 is up. I got those up last night. I'm still working on part 3. It's a large section that I'm working on, and didn't think it through properly when I was starting to record the first part of it. But anyhow, on the second episode, I was sitting there looking at something else on YouTube, and a notification popped up, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And I was like, who posted a video this time of night? Because most of the people I watch are US based, so I was really confused as to why somebody else aside from myself would put up a video at like 2 in the morning, and I'm like, what's this? It was a notification of a comment on one of my videos, and it was on the part 2 of Flamingo Falls that I had just posted like an hour previously, and I was like, okay. And when I clicked on it, it told me the name of the channel, like in the notification, and the message, and the comment was not exactly flattering and a reflective of this person's attitude. Well, maybe it was reflective of their attitude, but it did not paint them in a good light for the comment they left. And you know, when you're in this space, whether it be Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, you know, TikTok, whatever, in this day and age especially, people can be ugly, and you kind of steel yourself for the potential ugliness that they can direct to you. And I looked at this comment, and it said, you suck, and then, you know, fill in the blank. And I was like, well, I mean, that's not like the most degrading comment, but really? And I was just kind of like, that's kind of harsh considering I've never seen you before ever. And then I was like, well, wait, what does your channel have up? I was curious. So I searched the name of the channel, and it came back to a very large Roblox streamer. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, you're a dick. And I was tempted to kind of report the channel, or at least, you know, report the comment or something, or maybe contact the channel owner. Be like, really? And then I was like, no, it's not worth it. And then I was sitting there and I'm like, why would someone with 9 million subs decide to leave a comment on my video when I have 130 subscribers on YouTube? That doesn't make sense to me. And it's not like I am putting up videos about Roblox either. Like, it just, something didn't add up for me. And I'm like, what? Like, why would somebody go to this much trouble to purposely be an asshole when you have 9 million subs? And then I was like, well, is that this dude's MO, that they're just an asshole and, you know, a dude bro asshole, and that's how they got their following? Like, I had never seen any of this person's videos, never even heard of them, to be perfectly honest. And Russell's, I think, might have actually clicked on a couple of their videos. He's like, he was really confused how this person had that many subs to begin with. And they're like, he's like, this guy's a douche. So I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, I'm not watching any of the videos, but I was kind of, it stung. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, I guess. It still stung though. And, but then I'm sitting there and I'm staring at the notification, and I'm staring at the channel name that I'm on. And I noticed there's a little tiny symbol at the end of the name in the notification that I wasn't seeing on this channel. And I'm like, what is that? So I copied it and put it into Discord. And it's a tiny filled in square. And Russell's like, that might be a character from another country or something where the language isn't transferring properly. And I'm like, I don't know. I've had some messages with squares pop up in them where, you know, it's your standard sex site advertising and stuff. You know, I have certain comments held for review that are possibly considered inappropriate, so it's like, in case I forget to check on them, it will hold them and then make them go away if I don't do anything about them. There's our ding. We hit 58. We got alter time. Turning you to your current location and health when cast. Oh. Effects negated by long distance or death. Well, that's an interesting get me the fuck out of here rewind time thing. We might put that there just in case. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait. So I took that copy and paste, or took that copy of the name off the notification, including with the little symbol, and popped it into the search bar on YouTube. And I'm like, something's not making sense. And then I found as I'm scrolling through, I'm like, well, there's the dude that left the comment. And then I'm like, oh, wait, no, it's not. As I'm scrolling down, somebody basically made an imposter account of this 9 million sub account. Person had like 1 subscriber and 3 videos that they had uploaded like a year ago almost. And they copied the profile picture of this 9 million sub person, except they zoomed it in tighter, so it was a little bit different. The banner art was different on the channel. And they even went so far as to copy all of this descriptive information and put it on their channel, so that at quick inspection, it looks like they are the 9 million sub person, but they're not. And I was like, oh, you little bastard. So I'm like, so I feel like they were trying to fuck with the 9 million sub channel and try to get them taken down or something. And I'm like, why? Do you hate this person that much? Are you a competitive streamer of this person? Are you in their same wheelhouse? Like what is this? Like, it very much felt like, I don't want to say it was a sock account, but it very much felt like a vindictive account. And the 3 videos that were up showed like a 10 or 11-year-old. 2 of them involving Minecraft. And I'm like, what? The whole thing just didn't make sense. And I was trying to like remove and report the comment, but it wouldn't let me report the comment, so I don't know if that channel had already had actions taken against it in the amount of time that it took for me to see the comment since it had been posted. And I'm like, alright, well, this is weird, but okay. But I'm like, really? You went to that much trouble to try to fuck with this other account? And I'm like, just, dude, no. You need to find another hobby. I probably should have messaged the other account and said, hey, did you know there's somebody on YouTube that's like copied your profile pic and your channel info and is going around leaving shit comments on people's videos? But I'm pretty sure they probably already know. But we'll see. Wild Child is bloodthirsty. Frozen Soul. Dings level 58. That fast, I forgot. Because when I went to see the comment on the video, it wasn't displaying it, and it wasn't displaying it in my comments held for review. So something happened where the comment's not actually displaying on the video, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But it felt like action had already happened against the channel, and the action just hadn't fully caught up, or maybe it was temporarily restricted on what they could do while it was under review, maybe. I don't know. YouTube's still a little bit of a mystery to me. 16 hours, 30 minutes, and 15 seconds. So I was just like, wow, okay, you're an ass. But, I mean, it unfortunately comes with the territory, and I wish it wasn't like that, but you get these people that get emboldened and believe there's no consequences just because they're sitting behind a keyboard. What was that? Hey, Bear. Can you check on the car?
Yeah, why?
It sounded like I just heard a car beep, and it sounded like our car.
Beep is in the alarm, or beep is in...
It sounded like the alarm started to go off and then stopped.
I see nothing.
Okay. It was like the same tone of beep, so I was confused, and I was like, please don't tell me your mom just showed up.
No.
Because we've got a shit ton of stuff to do before she shows up. We have to clean her room. And shampoo the rug, because the one cat that we have to swap out so that the older female can come out and not be accosted, has been having hairballs on the rug, and he was trying to mark a couple spots in there. We have to shampoo the rug before she comes back. Alright, so let's do our inventory stuff. Alright, so vendor trash was $5.55.
I hope some of these can be of use.
Greens brought us to... I still need to repair.
I'll have more next
brought
time.
us 171. Not bad.
Need sustenance? Bandages?
And 12 gold repair bill. So still not bad. We still definitely were able to pay our repair bill and then some this level. So that's really all you can
Farewell.
really ask for as a bloodthirsty, is just making sure that you can keep your travel expenses with flight points and your repair bills paid up and have a little bit of wiggle room left over. Alright, so that's the bloodthirsty section. I'm thinking that we'll pop on to the pacifist for a minute. How's that sound? Because it's just 5 o'clock. Oh, sorry, I just remembered I needed to ask him to do something. Alright, so she's getting closer. She's getting closer. So maybe 2 more weeks before we add her, if she manages to survive. And then we'll figure out who we're gonna bring into the fray next. I really don't know, because the Death Knight's, what, 32 now? So 32, they would be... Excuse me, in theory, 34. 34. You would be 24. I mean, we could in theory bring the druid in at that point and just have these two be our ones bringing up the rear. That might just be how it's gonna go. We'll have to see, because you're 40, so well, we'll see what happens. Alright, so let's grab down in front. He should probably have about a level of rested on him, I think. So let me... Bonus. Pacifist. Alright. So we'll include a little bit of bonus pacifist leveling action since it's gonna be probably pretty quick at this level. Get our trusty steed. Oh wait, it's Darkmoon Fair, isn't it? It is Darkmoon Fair. You know what, y'all? Let's go to the fair. Let's go to the fair. How much money do we have? We have 7,000 gold. Let's go to Stormwind.
Need assistance?
My hearth is the Thunderbrew Distillery in Keranos. Let's hearth. I don't always trust the flight plans, to be perfectly honest. They make me super nervous when I have to fly a large distance. I've heard stories of sudden disconnects and then people coming back and them being dead on the ground, so I don't think that's happened for a while, but at this stage of the game, let's not risk it. This one's been around for a hot minute too, I think. Yeah, this one would have been the Pacifist contest. Do you want to fly into Ironforge? I mean, it's right there, but then we do have to run up there and hope that nobody kills anything next to us. Just take the flight point. Oh, that's a sore hand. Poor hand. So, yeah, next week I'm thinking if I can start soon enough in the day, we may work a little bit on my normal and work on some world quests for my flying in the hopes that my pacifist can get out there. Because if the mall skip is usable by the pacifist and on PTR testing it looked like it was gonna be, I would very much like to have flying for safety reasons if I can get them out there. So, oh hey, let's look at the fishing and cooking daily. Is this the— no, this isn't the right building. I want to be next door. Although I shouldn't have even bothered mounting because I'm not going to fit through the doorway. What do you have? A fowl shortage. There? If we don't find some... Okay. Running around the outside. I think this one's okay. I feel like I've done this one before. Alright, we're at 0 kills and killing blows, so let's see, outside the gate. Alright, which way is faster? Oh, that's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of another. I feel like I've done this one before and didn't even think about it. But we'll see. You never know when it involves grabbing something off the ground if it's gonna count as a kill. No, we're clean. Cool. Alright. So we can do this one. Come on, Sparkle Pony, we need to find us some chickens. Here, chick, 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 chick. Now I know the title says that we're doing Bloodthirsty, but we're doing some bonus pacifist leveling real quick. We don't want to kill the chicken. Please, 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 please. Let's get the get the cursor away from the chicken because it briefly turned into a sword after we had picked it up. Because that would just be the end all for today. Just be like, what the hell? Okay, so there's our chickens. And let's head over this way. So I made chicken nuggets last night. I don't know if you'd really call them chicken nuggets. I made chicken bites last night. So we took a chicken breast, and husband, while it was still partially or mostly frozen, he cut it into slices for me. And then I breaded it in cornflakes, like crushed up cornflakes, not pulverized, but crushed up. You know, you could still see some chunks of cornflake in it. You could still tell that it was, or had been, cornflakes at one point. Oh, I can't fit through the door. Didn't think I could.
Safe travels.
And I baked them in the oven. Can you cut my chicken? I forgot to ask you.
Okay, same cut?
Yeah. I forgot all about it because we were involved in fixing the stream key, and when I woke up the husband wasn't home, and I'm like, where the fuck did he go? I couldn't find him. I'm like, I was very confused because I woke up at I kept waking up, right? And I think I was afraid I was gonna sleep late. So then I was in the wake yourself up every so often in a panic mode. And kind of like when you get anxious because you have to be somewhere the next day and you're afraid you're gonna sleep past your alarm, kind of one of those things. Catch a young iron jaw. Okay, we can do that.
Watch your back.
And I woke up a few times and he had been sitting at his computer. And the last time I woke up, he was getting up and walking out of the room to go do something, but he didn't say what he was doing. And I thought he was coming back in a few minutes, and I fell back asleep. And then I woke up again, and he wasn't there, and I'm like, where did he go? And I was like, oh, well, maybe he's just in the bathroom or something. And I fell back asleep, and then the silence of the room woke me up again. Or maybe the stillness. I woke up, like, that second time, I'm like, he's still not in here. I'm like, what the hell? Am I just, like, waking up as he's walking out of the room, or what's happening? And, it was very bizarre. And then I went to go check his mom's room, because I'm like, well, maybe he's in there, because he said he'd had a bit of a sinus headache earlier. Maybe he just went to go lay down for a bit. And I went in there, and he wasn't there, and I'm like, what? I'm like, there's not many other places he could possibly effing be. And then I looked outside, and the car was gone, and I was like, oh, he went somewhere. Well, alright then. Alright, let's do that. Cool. Okay, so we did our fishing and cooking daily. How much did we get from 3,700? Alright. I guess that's not so bad for this level. Let's go back. We'll turn this one in, and then we're going to go to Auction House real super quick before we head off to the fair.
Aye. See you soon.
Alright, so that's another 3,700. Auction house. I'm not really sure which way is closer. It's probably, again, one of those 6 dozen of one, half a dozen of another. Because the other way would take me through the other corridor and then through the military wards, so I don't know, this one could have been marginally faster, maybe. Why am I here? I forgot the quick quest items. Wow, 650. Alright, can we search Darkmoon? Will that... No, that's not gonna help us. Okay, that's fine. Although I think these things might all be blue or green. It's not going to be artifact, and it's not going to be legendary, and I don't think there's any purple, so let's see about narrowing that down. I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that either. Why are these... Is it because nobody's running dungeons? Or are they running them and they're just, you know, turning them in themselves? Captured insignia. That's still too much money. I'm not paying that. Why are they so expensive? When I tried to sell these fucking things, I couldn't even give them away. Right? And now they're... Holy shit. Although just because they're listed for that much doesn't mean they're selling them, but... Monster's Egg, $8.99. What the fuck is going on? Moonfang's Pelt. Mysterious Granorum, $877. Jesus Christ. Ornate Weapon, $877. What is happening? Why are these so much money? Good lord. Oh, the price of the dungeon journal items that you can take to Darkmoon Fair.
Oh, yeah.
500 plus. On like all of them.
I'm sorry, is that a good or a bad thing?
Oh, bad for me because I was looking to buy them.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if they're actually selling, but yeah, fuck that. We can still go and do the couple of quests at the fair though. That we can do. Let's get rid of some of this crap though. We'll get rid of you and you. And I don't think you really sell. I have one Cadger's Whisker. Small fish we'll get rid of. Heavy stone. I'll just get rid of you. I certainly have plenty of... What the hell is this? Life root? I don't know where I picked up a peace bloom from. One peace bloom is not really gonna do me much good though. Where's the chick? She's over here.
I'm sorry, how long did you think you were going to be before you had dinner?
Well, I imagine she's still cooking, so...
Well, I mean, is it going to be more than a couple hours?
Just put it back in the bag like we did yesterday.
I put it back in the bag. Should I put it in the fridge?
Yeah,
or? Okay.
yeah.
That's what I was asking. Okay.
You need something?
Alright, so let's go to the fair.
Safe.
Hey, Red. How are you? Yeah, only on this character. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. My main has, well, they're not really my main. They're my gatherer. My main's still sitting at level 54. Because I took threads and I just haven't been able to push myself through it. So my gatherer that sort of became my lead character, shall we say, my lead non-challenger, this they're at like 125,000 gold, but I'm trying to save up for tokens, which is a ridiculously high amount right now, so... See, I saw that you said that you made it through them all. Congrats. Especially since that was, what, your first time through there? You watched me go into the mall. Yeah, I've got a couple of videos up on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, buried in the bloodthirsty stuff. Very nice, very nice. Congratulations. New personal best for you so far. Everything from here on out's gonna be a new personal best. It's always a fun feeling. Always, always. We could do the cannon, however, just so you know, if you bring an iron or a pacifist, these don't give experience.
Hey.
They give tokens. So, it's
On
not
the
really
way.
worth it, in my opinion. The only reason I'm here on this one is because we're gonna do, the profession stuff. Since I dusted off the pacifist, I should have put pacifist in the title.
Greetings.
I could still update that. Alright, so that's the cooking and the fishing. So you only had the first boss give you some problems, had to use... Yeah, he's a bit of a... That ruiner dude, you really can't get up on him. Like, the best thing you can do for him is kind of use some sort of ranged attack on him, if you have one. I don't know what it would be for protection paladin, but red paladin, you've got that little sword that kind of spikes up from the ground. And then just get the fuck away. You have to do some kind of damage to him. Maybe drop consecration if you have the glyph that lets you pick where you're gonna put it on the ground instead of it just showing up under your feet. Is that a glyph now? It used to be a glyph. I don't know if that still exists. I might be dating myself severely. But at one point there had been a glyph where you could position consecration, like you can position, oh, what the fuck is it called? We just saw the spell on the Death Knight, the red shit on the ground. Help me out here. What's the red shit for the red circle for?
Death and Decay?
Yeah, there you go. I knew it, I just couldn't place the name. There used to be a glyph that allowed you to place consecration, like you can place Death and Decay from a Death Knight. I don't know if that still exists though. It used to be there. Or maybe they moved it to a talent. They may have moved it to a talent, actually. In which case, that's not going to help you. But maybe Avenger's Shield, if it doesn't taunt. But yeah, I mean, you have to do some kind of damage to get Darian to run in and start hitting him. And as soon as you get Darian on him, you need to run. Like run almost to the bridge. That's right there that you hook a left onto when you're done in that section. And just make sure that nothing respawns on top of you at that point. But what mount is that, friend? No, come back. What is that? What is it? Spectral Terror Wing. Spectral Terror Wing. Where the fuck do you get that from? Spectral. Spec. Okay. Am I spelling spectral? P-T-E-R. What? What? Why isn't it showing it to me? I'm probably spelling it wrong. The rest wasn't too difficult. Learn from you, you had to move from the things on the ground, but maybe now I'm going to level a normal character to 60. Yeah, I mean, that would get you threads, so then, so you can do the world quests, or at least so that you can do the challenger, or the iron safe world quests, rather. Because you're only going to be able to go so far on the storyline with an iron before shit's gonna go sideways, basically. A lot of the others, I think, have only risked doing the storyline maybe up until 53, which isn't very far. So yeah, I would pause and perhaps go after a normal to 60 and get threads unlocked. And then maybe just, there should be a list on the forums. Stir or Zaya probably has the link to it. It might be in one of the previous show blog posts as well, where I don't see it. Is this a special thing? That has the link to the iron safe, in quotation marks, as safe as they can be, world quests. And maybe supplement in the upcoming holidays as much as you can with those world quests once you get that section unlocked. Okay, you've seen it. So yeah, because I mean we've got Hollow's End coming in. I would definitely do that with your iron to get you some more somewhat safer XP. You just have to be mindful that Darkshore and Arathi and Oldham and Blasted Lands are going to change now, and they will be their altered selves, and you'll have to talk to Zadormi to turn back time, so that you don't get nailed with the odd part of the zone. So like if you try to do a candy bucket in Darkshore at level 50 and you haven't talked to Zadormi and you go in there to go to the inn, it A, may not be there, probably won't be there, and B, you risk running into a hostile PvP zone now. So I'm actually going to do this year. I didn't think about doing it in previous years, but apparently now when you talk to Zadormi, she will turn back time until you talk to her again. And I hadn't realized that I had talked to her when Fair and I were trying to test something. And it might have been for Harvest Festival. And I had took the portal to Darnassus expecting to be flung into Darkshore, and it flung me into Darnassus, and I was like, what? Because I was above 50, so it should have dropped me in Darkshore. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Did they change something? And she's like, oh, did you talk to Zadormi? And I looked up top, and I had at some point and didn't realize I had. It had been so long ago, and it still had the zone turned back. So I might do a tweet a day or two before Hollow's End activates, saying, hey, and you might want to talk to Zadormi now to turn back the time in those zones so that you reduce any risks with your challengers running into there to do the candy buckets. So no jellies or toasts. Okay. So yeah, there's gonna be some zones that are gonna be a little iffy. So, If you go to Wowhead, we'll get back to leveling here in just a minute. If you go to Wowhead, and look up Hollow's End, on the side of the screen, they've got links to different parts of their article. In one section, I think it says a list of the candy bucket locations. So you can see the zones that would potentially be problematic. So Darkshore, I think, depending on if you're Alliance or Horde, your list might vary a little bit. But like Darkshore definitely, Arathi Highlands definitely. Blasted Lands might be an issue because I think if you fly into Blasted Lands 50 plus, it might actually be 40 plus. I'm not exactly sure what level that zone changes now. Let's just say potentially 35 and plus. The flight point, loud vehicle. The flight point doesn't drop you in the keep. It drops you out by Khadgar, standing in the middle of a bunch of hostile mobs. So that could be potentially terrifying and a problem. Excuse me. There's a couple of other spots that could potentially be an issue, I think. Maybe Oldham, because Oldham did the weird thing at 120 where the zone kind of changed for, or maybe it was 110. Was it a Legion thing or was it a BFA thing? I can't remember. The Scar, the Azurite. Who was Azurite? Azurite was BFA, right? So, I guess like one of like their end fill in the gap bullshit things was having to deal with Old God corruption. Like, and I'm pretty sure Oldham was one of the zones where it had seeped in, so if you don't talk to Zadormi, I mean, you might not have to talk to her, but it might reduce a potential issue while navigating around out there. But I will try to compile that list. When is Hollow's? Hang on, I'll get back to looking for this mount in a second. So the 18th, I'll try to put the list together for the show on the 16th. And, so the reminder's there, and then the MP3 will come out Sunday night, so that still might be enough time. Well, I don't know if that'll be enough time for those that didn't catch the show. Because I don't know, because the show's actually Sunday for Lita. I don't know how this works for the other countries. Does Hollow's End start a day early for you guys, or does it start a day late for you guys? Like, for us it starts on Monday the 18th, but is that really the 19th for her? Like, I don't know how that works. Or does she start it on her 18 and we start on our 18? I'm confused. I don't... Time zones are a bitch, so I don't know how they handle that. I might have to do some digging. But anyhow, I'll try to remember to put a list together of potential problems. So since Zadormi should not change back after you talk to her until you talk to her again, that could be one way of dealing with it. Where is... did I just... Maybe if we just look up Wing. Where are you? See, it's not showing it there. Why was it... I'm mad now. I want to know where this came from. Looking up Spectral didn't... Is it just a druid in shapeshifted form? I mean, that's entirely possible. Because I'm not seeing it. Hang on, let me change the stream title real quick. Since we're not doing Bloodthirsty now, I don't want people to get confused, even though we have Pacifist on the top of the screen. Pacifist leveling. Alright, that should have been updated. Okay. Alright, bear with me. I'm like, if spectral... See... Okay. Variants of the... Okay, so this is an actual mount. Oh, okay. You need to be exalted with the Zandalari Empire. Okay. So that's a... Holy fuck, really? 1, 2... 1, 2, 3. 90,000 gold plus exalted? Jesus Christ.
Well, again, they put him in for a gold sake.
Apparently so. So I am not that rich. I am rather poor. Looks like WoW token is currently at 199. Today. For me. In the US. 199.6 and change. Okay, well, we've figured out where that mount came from. God damn. I just must be like super fucking cheap because that's a lot of money. Like, I'd have trouble coming up with that on a regular basis, even if I wasn't doing challenges. That's something I would definitely be scrounging for. But then again, I don't do world quests all the time. There should be one more. There should be one more that we can do. We can talk to him. I can't on a Bloodthirsty because the daily will count against my quest count. So don't do Blingtron on a Blood. You can do it on a Pacifist. What did we get anyway? Nothing good. Nothing good. Oh, where's the other... There should be... The fishing, the cooking. The herbs. Where's the mining dude? Was the mining dude back there and I just like walked right by him? Because it's entirely possible. I thought they were together. Am I just that... No, he's not back here. Where is he? Am I crazy? Oh no, here's the thing. I was like, the smelting station was back here. Where's the dude? It's been so long since I've done these. You're the fire ring one, right? Who are you? Who are you? You're the turtle ring. You're the fire ring in the sky. We're definitely not doing that on a challenger. That's the ear one that we can't do on a pacifist. That's the tonk one. These two are pet battles, and we can't do pet battles. What the fuck? Is it you?
Greetings, man.
It's you. Okay. Jesus Christ. It's been a while since I've been out here. Damn. Aww. Those aren't multi-pickups. Well, damn it. That sucks. Alright, remember, you cannot do the carousel or the roller coaster on a challenger. Really can't do those because of the Wii buff. Wii buff's not allowed for your characters that are participating in this. I guess we should zoom in a little bit so we can see my little pacifist guy. Although it's hard to miss him with his green mohawk, but I was actually contemplating changing his hair, but I usually don't like to change their appearances very often at the barbershop because part of me views it as bad luck. I did do it to the mage though. We'll see what happens with her. Let's go this way. So we'll see. She was an experiment. I had to change her hair color because it was totally clashing with her outfit and it was pissing me off. Because I see the back of her head all the time. Especially with the hat she had on, so. Where are the things that we need? You don't want to venture too far out to look for this stuff. Because, you know, there are people killing things nearby. Nearby-ish. Don't want to end up inadvertently getting a prox kill. I mean, honestly, I should be mounted so I can make a quick getaway. Oh. There's a flower there. Seems to be a few people out here doing the profession quests. I forgot the profession quests are yellow and not blue, so I got myself all discombobulated. I almost went and got a pink Elec, and then I was like, you know, everybody's gonna have them. And I kind of like my frog better, so. On my normal. Can't really do that on a challenger, because it involves going in the dungeon and getting it, and I wouldn't risk that. Because you'd have to go in solo, and that's pretty deep in to get to that, I believe, so just not worth it or doable, I think, for a challenger. But for a normal, I thought about it.
What is it?
I was like, that might be kind of cool, and then like everybody was gushing about it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, everybody's gonna have that pet, so it's not really like it's gonna be a novelty at this point, so I'll just stick with my froggy, that's fine. Besides, my frog and my mount match, and it just tickles me when that happens, because I'm a dork, so I'm cool with that. What is this? Oh, that's the racing. What up, peeps? I'm gonna fish here, okay? Actually, I'm gonna fish over here. Y'all cool with that? You're gonna have to be. So we need to fish for our great sea herring for spoiling for salty sea dogs. So yeah, we've got 2 more levels to go on the mage. Hopefully she makes it. I'll be relieved when she gets done, because she's been a little delicate. She's sort of delicate like the rogue, but not as delicate as the rogue. She's delicate in her own ways. There is a WoW Challenges podcast this weekend. I'm actually going to be co-hosting with Lita this week. We're going to have a couple of interesting things to talk about. Well, I find them interesting, but or maddening, however you want to look at it. I was really pissed off when we found out about it, because I felt stupid because we were basing it off of what we had found out in previous testing. But the end result is actually a good thing if it holds. A severed azure fin head. Isn't that a hat? It lasts for 1 day. Something strange is happening. Where the fish head? I'd rather not. But thanks. I'm just gonna try to get some more dagger maw. Because these guys were selling for a pretty good clip on auction house at one point. Don't know if they still are, but they had been. But, you know, we'll see. It won't hurt us to stay an extra moment to grab some more fish. Now, the bloated sharks, I believe it's bloated sharks, those I think usually come from the fishing pools. It's been a hot minute since I've been out here, because I can't come here on my bloodthirsties, and my pacifists were just kind of chilling. Because we have Gentle Soul, who had hit 120. And then we have this one that didn't make it to 120. I'm pretty sure this was the Pacifist contest character I had made. So I was like, oh, well, nobody's leveling a hunter. So my dumbass decided to pick a hunter. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. I didn't know what she needed. But we also have some rain moving into the area, or at least we did earlier. I don't know if we're actually going to get it. We need it bad. It was raining to our north and to our east. And we were missing it. And I'm like, no, rain here. Rain here. Just rain and get it over with so that, you know, the joints don't feel quite as shitty. So even though I'm on a hunter, we're on a pacifist, so the pet has been dismissed. We don't have a pet. I have no damage buttons on my bars whatsoever. In fact, I'm fairly certain I don't even have a weapon, because I was terrified that I was gonna accidentally auto shoot something, or even just take my weapon and straight up hit something. Oh no, there's a bloated thresher. Okay, so it doesn't have to be from a pool. You can get it outside of the pool, but you can get them from the pools too. So the bloated threshers, if you open them, you can get a variety of things. So we got 6 Dark Moon dagger maws, and we got sharp fangs, and we actually got 16 gold from them. So if you've got a pacifist that's really hard up for cash, you might want to come out here during Dark Moon Fair Week and do a little bit of fishing. If only to try to get either the dagger maul to sell, or potentially to try to get the threshers. Because the threshers will have varying amounts of cash in them, it seems. So that's also an option. Yeah, so the only things I have on the bar for the hunter was dismiss pet, because I just pulled that down to get rid of the pet. Oh, there's another one. Sweet. And I've got my slow trap and my freezing trap, and I've got feign death, and I've got exil, which will heal me. So very few things on the bar there. Everything else that shows up gets immediately removed. Box for sale. Box for sale. Was box for sale taken? Box for sale. Okay. Yeah, I don't even think we have a weapon. No. Moonfang Dreadhowl now prowls the woods. Stay the fuck out of the woods, guys. Yeah, we don't even have a weapon. So it used to be a stick. When they brought in the you don't need a fishing rod to fish with, it was a stick with some leaves hanging off of it and some fishing line off the end. They've now upgraded us to the most basic of fishing poles without buying a fishing pole. I kind of liked the stick a little bit better, but the fishing pole makes a little more sense because then you can actually reel in the line. But The stick to me actually felt better and more primitive and was a reminder that you didn't actually have a pole equipped. Alright, so that one had 20 gold. And 8 dagger maw and some more fangs. So, I mean, you can... I don't know if the gold amount varies based on your level. It may. That is definitely a possibility, but, you know, if you're hard up for cash on a pacifist, because you can't fish on an iron. So maybe a pacifist or a working challenger if you're doing working man as a personal challenge, since we can't track working man right now. Those would really be the only two that would get anything from fishing, and those are really the only two that are allowed to fish. As far as challenge rules are concerned. Because all of the other challenges it's not allowed, which is why I went ahead and changed the title to Pacifist to make sure people didn't think that we were doing this on a bloodthirsty, because I don't want people saying, well, I watched your stream. Well, apparently you didn't watch it with the sound on, because I said we were on a pacifist. So alright, let's head back on up. Hi guys, sorry, didn't mean to fuck up your clicks. I'm just trying to get out of here. Thanks. Alright, so we have this to turn in, and we have to bread and deep fry our frogs. Sure, let's go do that. And we'll see where we stand. Alright, so let's open our bag of stuff. Alright, and let's start throwing them in the pot that we can barely see over the counter. How we're not scalding this Tauren with splashing oil is beyond me, but maybe those are things we're just not supposed to ask.
Oh.
Alright, so we'll turn in the Sea Dog.
Be careful.
We'll turn in that one.
Walk
How many
with
tokens am I even at, anyway?
Hooray!
You're a much higher level than me, but I have no idea what level you are. So, what are we at here? We're at 42 prize tokens. Alright. So, I really don't... Well, I mean, if we hearth it, will take us back to Thunder Brew Distillery, which will get us closer to where we want to be. But I kind of want to head back to Auction House and put that stuff up. Yeah, you know what? Because you have to be careful on a pacifist, because if you take the portal back, it's going to drop you in Goldshire. And I don't know about you guys, but my Goldshire is a hot fucking mess. Right there by the inn, people are dueling each other, people are killing mobs for quests, and it just seems kind of risky and a potential prox kill situation. So I don't like being that tight in with a lot of other people. So I think it's just better that we hearth out of there. We'll fly back into Ironforge because I want to put this fish up on Auction House. Since we've dusted this one off. We might put everything on Auction House, honestly. Well, all the stuff that's worth putting on Auction House. That stuff I'm just gonna vendor. There's only 3 of that. That's not worth putting up. Only 1 of these. I'm not gonna bother with that. At least not yet. That has to be smelted. So we won't bother putting that up right now. Or that has to be smelted too. Let's see what we can do with the other stuff though. Alright. Now, let's hop over to auction house again real super quick. Cooking mats for when you had to make the bread. Just kind of left them in my bag so I didn't have to constantly keep tracking them back down. Alright, auction house. Let's see what this lady can do for us. I would like to sell some shit. Alright, let's see what life root's gonna be. 750. We'll drop it to 7. I doubt that's all gonna sell. I doubt any of it's gonna sell, but we'll try. Wow, 15. 1544. Alright. We'll see. 70 on that. Let's go 65. No. Alright, so these, I'm surprised those are that high. Let's go 175 on those. Citrine, let's just go 23 on the citrine. The jade, let's just go 5. Alright, and then the last thing that we're gonna put up, the dagger maw. I've seen these higher. Let's go 875, because that's still potentially 400 gold there. Alright, let's get back to Western Plague. Oh, we only have a little bit left to go on this level. That's sad. Maybe we'll just... Maybe we'll... I was gonna say, maybe we'll just pick something back around Keranos.
No. Keep your feet on the ground.
That's a long way to go just to get like 3 flowers, maybe 4, before we ding. Because then we'll no sooner land, we'll get our 3 things, and then I'll end up heading back to Chilwyn. So let's see what we can do out here. Now we have to remember, and was it Ash? Ash brought up the good point that the starting zones scale now, like the starting zones, the 1 to 5 sections. So Tinkertown is not, New Tinkertown is not as safe as it once was for new pacifists. I mean, granted, starting out, you were still gonna have to be mindful of mob levels when you were still in their range, but you really do have to watch even now when you're like well past level 5, because the mobs are going to scale up. That was 2 flowers. But hey, that's cool. Kindred spirits. Well, that doesn't mean jack shit, because we're not attacking anything. Alright, so we'll quick get a photo. Alright. I mean, we could have done 1 more level, but it is 6 o'clock for me, and I'm starving. My stomach's growling, so we'll put a pin in that here. So let's get our /played. So yeah, next week we're gonna work on a normal for a little bit to work on our flying for this guy, along with some bloodthirsties. I think that sounds like a good idea if I can start early enough. It also depends on what time we get started. We might have to change WoW Challenges Day next week, just as a heads up. We might have to do it Thursday instead of Wednesday. It depends on the weather. I did see something that they're watching a supercell complex that could potentially form next Wednesday, and we don't fuck with the supercells and the thunderstorms and the potential severe weather and playing challenge tunes. Those things don't jive. So I will move due to weather concerns if I have to. So we're gonna play that by ear for next week. So just as a potential heads up now, that could end up getting shifted to Thursday, and in which case if we have to shift WoW stuff to Thursday, then we'll shift Minecraft to Wednesday. But we'll see. That's not a definite yet. You know, weather can change. So I'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you guys know when I know. So WoW Challenges Pacifist down in front. I thought it was funny since he's so short. Hunter. I mean, he's a Beastmaster Hunter, but he's not using... I did take a spec on this one, right? Oh, this was before we could go specless. I'm fairly certain. I'll figure it out in a minute. In the meantime, we'll just do Hunter. Excuse me. Down in front, Thunder. Ding's level 28. Everybody's in this level 20 range right now. Slightly maddening. So slash played is 1 day, 14 hours, 45 minutes, and 49 seconds. Didn't know we could do what? Tweet from in-game? I'm confused, Dave. What didn't you know? I'm confused. If you're talking about the tweet from in-game, go into your... You can manipulate... Oh, yeah, you can... So, you can crop right here. And then you can adjust stuff and cut stuff out, and... You can zoom it in a little bit. It's been like that for a while. Hey, Dave learned something new. Yay, I helped somebody today. But, yeah, so this guy will sit for, another week. So let's double check our calendar. Don't forget the gnome run for those that want to participate, and that starts this weekend. The official run with you thought it was only like a one shot, but didn't realize you could you can maneuver that all around. I use that feature quite a lot to cut out a lot of the dead space in the background of the photos, or try to cut out as many NPCs or other people as I can, depending on how many things were going on in the background. But yeah, that it is helpful. And then you don't have to take it to another, like, then you don't have to go to your screenshot folder and then edit the screenshot through whatever means that you use, and then manually drop it into Twitter. And it's nice that you can have the Twitter integration function through the interface menu, and that way you can just click the thing and do the tweet and send it on its way and be done without popping out of game to do it. But yeah, so Gnome Run is this weekend. Now, there's the in-game event gnome run, and then there's the official gnome run with Dravi. So the unassisted gnome run, I guess, that you can just do on your own, that's gonna start at midnight, or 1 minute after midnight, Saturday night, Friday morning. No, Friday night, Saturday morning. There we go. Flippy flip in the brain. But then Dravi's official run will be 7 p.m. Eastern that night, on Scarlet Crusade. And then she has her people that have the overflow run guilds and stuff set up. So, and it's traditionally a gnome with pink hair for that. And I think that's for... I think she does it as a charity fundraiser for... I want to say breast cancer because of the pink and it being October. I think that's what it's for. But yeah, you can search the Great Gnome Run, or you can go to her Twitter. I think she has a message pinned, or at least she did as of last weekend, with a link to where you could donate or for more information about the run itself. So that's going to be Saturday. Brewfest ended this morning. So aside from this will be starting right at showtime on Saturday for the WoW Challenges podcast. There will be Hollow's End coming up on the 18th, and like I told Red earlier, I'll try to get that list compiled for the show to be talked about on the 16th about the zones that you may want to preemptively talk to Zadormi in if you haven't talked to her in those zones already. So that way maybe you can turn back time ahead of time and then enter those zones without too much worry, potentially, to see, you know, just to lessen your oh god moments as you're trying to do your candy buckets and find Zadormi in those zones when things have gone to shit. It can be a little bit challenging and nerve-wracking, especially like trying to get to her in Arathi if you're PvP flagged or Darkshore. So yeah, I will try to put that list together since we now know that she won't turn back time until you talk to her again, so logging out doesn't clear it. So that's fantastic. So I will try to remember to do that, and we will try to make sure that that goes out in a tweet for that. So thank you guys. Tomorrow we'll be doing Minecraft. I've got plenty of sandstone ready to go over there, so that we can continue building our walls. I've got a full double chest smelted, and I've got some stairs cut and some corner pieces that we don't really need yet. But I also managed to find some brown sheep, so we managed to make a few banners, and I got the road put in coming into the city, or at least partially put in from down like to the front entrance gate. I figured I could do that on my own because it wasn't actually part of the city. So I've got that, and I've got some more wood squirreled away for that. So I've been doing some prep work in the background on there. Friday night we'll be doing Franchise Friday and Planet Zoo once again, and we will be putting the roof on that exhibit building with the frogs and the lizards, and we will be we shouldn't have to worry too much about overpopulation. I mean, I have to worry about the animals dying, but we should get a notification when someone dies now. So I think that'll be a little bit easier to just replace the animal than have to constantly worry about, oh my god, they've overbred, oh my god. So, yeah, we'll put the roof on the building there, and we'll do the landscaping on the outside of it. Friday night, Saturday night, WoW Challenges podcast, I'll be co-hosting with Lita. We have a couple of things to talk about over there for this weekend with that, and then Saturday we'll be doing more art, and Sunday we'll be doing more art, and I will hope to try to get a longer session in because I need to step up our time on this one, because I'm gonna have a few other projects coming up that I need to work on for Christmas gifts. And the people they're for are not technologically savvy and would not be watching what I'm doing, so we can do those on stream, and I hope to try to work on those as well on stream, just to give us a little break from tissue paper, to show that I do other things. But that's what this weekend's gonna be. Of course, I always say I'm gonna try to go early on the art stream, and then I oversleep for like 2 hours late. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. So thanks, you guys. You can follow me on Twitter at NiseyBGN. I usually post when I'm about to go live over there, when I remember to. And sometimes, you know, I post silly polls, like the question that we got into a debate with our friend about on, is cereal a cold soup? Excuse me, funny poll results. It was split down the middle. 14 votes. 7 people said, yeah, sure, you could consider that a cold soup. And 7 people like, fuck no. But I figured that would be an interesting poll to do. So thank you for those that participated in that. I archive all of the YouTube live stream, or I archive all of the Twitch live streams over on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is NiseyBGN, so feel free to pop over there. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free and it helps the channel out, as I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs over there, so that maybe someday we can actually monetize the YouTube channel as well. But we've got a long way to go before we hit the requirements on that. I think the requirements over there now are 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. And we're a long way from both of those, but at least if we can get the sub count there, I think we'll eventually get the watch hours. But that's another thing. And we also still have the Etsy shop, which I only have a couple of things up currently. I might repost some more stuff in a couple of weeks. To get ready for Christmas options. I don't know, we'll see. It's mostly just the Bob Ross magnets that I have, and a couple of the 4x4 mini canvases left still on those. I might repost those in a little bit. We'll see. And yeah. And we also have the Kofi page, which has the gallery, or the mini gallery of some of the stuff I've done. And also has, oh yeah, I have to go in and pull all that stuff down, because I just forgot I had put the links up on that. Right, I've got shit I've got to do tonight. Okay, so, I will catch you all later. Stay safe, good luck on your challengers, and until tomorrow, have a good one.